Well, it's Tuesday.
Yes.
And we're still doing logging engines.
Right.
The ones that are going to be going on our new logging railroad when we finish
That's the plan.
the logging part of the railroad. And we still don't even have any rails down. But for years, I've been buying and collecting logging engines.
Right, they're neat.
They're really neat. Always been a favorite of ours.
Right.
The geared engines. Although one of our logging engines is an articulated side rod. Yeah. But the others are all geared engines, including this little guy here. This is a Heistler.
A Heisler.
A Heistler, yeah. Now Bachmann did. Their first one was the 36-ton Shay. They re-released it later on as a 38-ton Shay. And we talked last week about some of the mechanical issues that they had with the Shays. This one I've heard has mechanical issues, but nothing like the Shays. All of the early Bachmanns suffer from certain kinds of mechanical issues. The later ones, the ones that they made in the last few generations, are brilliant.
Are good.
But the earlier ones, anyway. But isn't that a neat engine?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, Heisler's had the V configuration.
Oh.
It's like a V2. V2, that would be a rocket. Well, as opposed to a V8 or a V6 or something, it's only two cylinders that act up and down on a V crankshaft, and then the drive line runs right up the middle, just like a Chevy or something.
Wow.
Yeah, what's really neat is if you look down under the boiler, you can see all the valve gear.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just so fun. You can see the universal when it's running, you can see all that going and the universal turning and everything.
Wow.
And then that drives a single axle on the drive wheels, and then the drive wheels are connected together by a connecting rod, like on a rod engine.
Oh my goodness.
So they're really neat. We saw the live version of one of these at Travel Town.
We did.
And I don't know that we've ever ridden. I've seen them running, and I know there's running examples around.
Right.
I'm not sure that we've ever encountered a running one and ridden behind it.
I don't recall it.
I don't
No.
recall it.
I don't.
We did spend quite a bit of time with the one at Travel Town,
Right.
which does not run.
Right.
And I think it's a standard gauge, where this is a little small 3-foot gauge engine. And it's painted Oregon Lumber Company.
That's cool.
All of our logging engines have some different railroad listed, except for our 3-truck Shay, which has no railroad listed at all. But what I wish is they were all west side,
That's true.
because that's kind of
That's neat.
where we're going with a lot of this stuff, is the west side.
The west side.
Which is such a neat one. But what a beautiful little engine.
It's beautiful.
If you fall madly in love with this and you say, gee, I'm going to get on eBay and find one, set up an automatic search.
Oh,
Because they're really few and far between.
Seriously.
And the weird thing is, when they did this engine, it just wasn't popular.
Really?
Yeah, people wanted the Climax.
Right.
And it was very popular. And of course, they wanted every configuration of Shay, which has been very popular. For whatever reason, the Heistler just didn't quite seem to make it.
Wow.
But it does have a really unique sort of look. But I love the really spindly boiler.
Yeah, it's
and
different.
the mechanism all being down in here. I really love this engine. It's got an interesting balloon stack. One of the weird things about it, logging railroads typically would run wood for their fuel, for obvious reasons.
Right.
The scrap lumber could be
There
burned
you
in the
go.
engine. This guy runs on oil.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Yeah, so
Oil.
all of the configuration, but it's got the water container. But here, it's got an oil tank that's dropped in there, and I don't know if it always ran on oil, or any history of the Oregon Lumber Company number 102. Just don't know anything about it. I just like Heislers, and
Looks like it could have ran on coal at one point, or wood, or
got
something.
converted,
but
because this stack kind of betrays
Looks
maybe
like wood.
a wood load or something.
Sure.
So it may have been converted to run on oil later in its life or something. If you know anything
Yeah.
about that, do climb into the comment sections, because I don't know. That Bachmann offered this in several configurations, different railroads. It's all the same engine. One of them, though, they had different configurations of side rods, and the counterweights and side rods on one of the versions were painted white, which I found kind of odd
That's
and peculiar.
off-putting, yeah,
and
a
I
little
didn't
bit.
care for that.
No.
This is the one I wanted.
Right.
Took me probably 2 years to find one on
find
eBay, because they just don't come up that often.
No.
And then when they do, a lot of times people want a heck of a lot of money for them, which is really weird considering that when they were out, the hobby shops couldn't give them away,
Oh, really?
which is why they never did another run, which is why they're so darn hard to find.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, another thing here is I've never run this one.
Oh, well, we'll have to put it out there and see if she goes.
Let's go take it out on the railroad and
We'll
see
see
what
what
it
happens.
does.
Right.
Let's try driving it around a bit.
Right.
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. It's kind of stiff.
A little bit, but it's been in storage a long time.
Yeah, we've never run it before.
No wonder then. Oh dear, yeah.
Now, notice that it kind of hung up there on the road crossing, and all these engines are hanging up on the road crossing, and it took me a minute to figure out why they're doing that. These Bachmann engines have oversized flanges, and they're hitting the bottom of the road crossing, and it's lifting them up off the rails.
Oh.
So I got to fix that. Just a matter of carving the flangeways in the road crossing down a little bit
Just a
more.
little, yes.
Just a little bit. But overall, it's loosening right up. It's starting to behave like a locomotive.
Yes, look at it go.
And doesn't it look neat? You know, in spite of the fact it doesn't have a sound system in it, I kind of like the clickety-clackety-clattery sound.
I do too.
I mean, it's a geared engine. It's supposed to make little clickety-clackety,
Right.
That's normal. Okay, well, that was interesting. It runs.
It runs, and there it goes.
Yeah. Now, I know with Bachmann, especially ones like this that have never been run, it's got dry gears. And Bachmann says, no, don't run them with dry gears, not any appreciable amount of time. And, and that first Shay that we looked at came with a VHS tape on how to lubricate the gears. This one, by contrast, comes with a DVD.
Oh, really?
So we'll have to watch the DVD. We're old school. We still watch DVDs.
Sure.
So we'll figure that out. But I think it just needs a little running in and whatnot. I don't think there's any appreciable problems with it. I think it's going to be a really neat engine. And it's one of the three little shorties which are going to look so good up on that railroad.
So is there something missing here, or there's a little hose going to nowhere?
I think it's just like that. I think
okay.
that's all there is to it.
All right.
Okay, yeah, because it's just the exhaust for the generator so it's got a pile generator,
Okay.
and then for some reason, it's got a whole weird exhaust pipe to bring
To go up with the other. Strange.
Weird. Such an interesting and
That's,
weird.
Yeah.
Looks like something off of Solid Air or some
Right.
Moorish temple or something.
Yeah. That's different. I like it.
Oh, I do too. I like this engine a lot, which is why I spent 2 years trying to find one. I think by the time all was said and done, I paid $450 for it.
Yeah.
Which isn't too bad, you know,
Right.
and it had never been run, so then I was skeptical if it would run at all,
Right.
because you just
You
never
just
know
never know.
on eBay
Right.
what you're getting and what it's going to do.
Yep,
But
exactly.
no, this is going to
It
work
looks
out
good.
just fine. And the three small engines, the 36-ton Shay, the Heisler, and the Climax will all run neatly up there. The two big engines, the articulated and the 3-truck Shay,
Right.
we may haul them up there from time to time just to flex the bench work,
Right. Flex the bench work.
because they're pretty heavy too. But those will be an upcoming Tuesday show. We're going to go through all 5 logging engines, and
Right.
We've now done 2 of those.
Right.
Anyway, if you haven't been over to the channel, pop on over to the channel, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe.
Right.
And the easy way to do that, are we ready?
Here we go.
Zoink! Blue button right there. Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet, and we hope you didn't find it boring. And if you want one of these, go looking for it.
eBay.
And we will see you on Tuesday
Right.
with the Climax locomotive. We'll see you then.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.